Jonathan, next week we will be sending out our first climate change bulletin to residents. People can sign up via the council website, and it's going to be all about our climate emergency strategy and how people can get involved. It's a defining moment for Eastbourne Borough Council. There's no doubt about that. But could you give us an overview of the strategy, its significance for the council, and of course, more broadly for Eastbourne?
Yeah, so the strategy really is about setting out our plan to reduce our carbon footprint, not only as a local authority, but also town-wide, that we can help our residents to reduce their carbon footprint too. It's also about how do we offset the carbon emissions that we also have. But the principle about the bulletin is about keeping residents informed about the actions and the behaviours that they can change to improve their personal carbon footprint within their family home and their family household. And that's, for me, is the most important thing. This isn't about doing a lot of things immediately. This is about making changes, behavioural changes, whether it's going to be walking to school, cycling to work, meat-free Monday. So lots of small things that we can do to reduce our carbon footprint as individually, so that we all contribute to the overall aim of being carbon neutral by 2030.
We have that target by 2030. It's very ambitious, but it needs to be quite clearly. If you had, a few key messages for people, our residents today, about what they should be doing, and you've outlined one or two ideas, and of course there are businesses and companies as well that need to play a part. What are you going to be saying to those, I don't know, mums and dads, kids, and also those business owners?
Well, for example, I suppose I speak from experience. I've moved our household fuel, electricity and gas to a carbon neutral provider, a provider that provides the energy that we use through green initiatives. And those opportunities are now available without costing any more than a traditional supplier that one might have naturally gone to in terms of the big players that you know and heard of in the market. So there's lots of things that we can do, encouraging our staff, if you're talking about business, to cycle to work. And there's cycle to work schemes where you can buy a bicycle through a very tax efficient scheme through your payroll. It's just really important that we take the bulletin, take the advice, and try and act on it as best we possibly can, which will ultimately help the whole of the town, the whole of Eastbourne, all our residents and our communities to achieve what we hope to be carbon neutral by 2030.
Miles, the Eco Action Network has been heavily involved in the work behind the scenes developing the strategy. Could you tell us a bit about the network, what you've been doing, and maybe some of your plans going forward? And of course, let residents know how they can get involved.
Yeah, sure. Thanks very much. So Eco Action Network came into existence in the autumn of 2019. And we did three things there. One was to work with the council to help them phrase and word the original declaration they made to declare a climate emergency and achieve neutrality by 2019. We formed an organisation, a CIC, to help develop the network, and we brought together planning for an event that happened in January 2020, which over 800-900 people attended in the Welcome Building. Of course, that was all pre-pandemic. And then we've had this once in 100-year event, which has hit Eastbourne, our community, as well as it has across the world, of course. And we now have survived that. We'd already planned tools to be online, and so we're able to switch to online use and away from physical meetings, which we'd started to have. And at the moment, we've got just over 2,000 followers on social media, many of whom are very active on Facebook page, Facebook group, Twitter and Instagram. And you can join by going to ecoaction.co.uk. So ecoactioneb.co.uk, go to the action page. You can join one of the action groups.
So if I sign up tomorrow or this afternoon even, what sort of things are you going to get me doing in the coming weeks and months?
Well, it's a community group, and I think from our point of view, it's very much about what people want to do. So there's guidance. You can join different groups. So, for example, you could join the transport group, which is very active in lobbying and campaigning for changes to car use and surface transport in Eastbourne to reduce our emissions, which is 26% of the borough's output. And in particular there, we're working on bringing the bus back better, so getting modal shift in Eastbourne by encouraging East Sussex County Council, the Transport Authority, to have a good, cheap, reliable, zero emissions bus service in Eastbourne. That would make a huge shift. So there's sort of lobbying, campaigning. There's voluntary organisations. There's a group called Treeborn, which is a voluntary organisation planting trees, which is being very active and raise funds. There's groups that you can get involved with on housing and energy. For example, we're planning post the 21st of June deadline, if things go smoothly, to have more physical events in town. So that could include a pop-up shop, a repair shop, there's all sorts of things that we're planning to do. So if you go to the action page, you can join one of the groups and you subscribe to our newsletter as well.
Thank you.